About my content marketing journey from when I started my business and why it's relevant to you. So I started my business, I don't even know if it was 2009 or 2010. I was self-employed. I didn't set up a proper limited business at that point. But I knew that I had to get myself off housing benefit. So I'd got myself into a situation. I was on housing benefit. I lived with my two kiddies at the time. They were 5 and 8. I still live with them, actually. Well, one's at university. But yeah, I was on housing benefit and I needed to make some money. Now I had two choices. I could either go and get a job and work sort of 10 till 2 every single day, but I had two very kind of sickly children that had a lot of time off school. So I really wouldn't have been able to hold down a job. So what I had to do was create a business that made me money so that I could get myself off housing benefit. Now, it took me about 2 years or so to get myself off housing benefit, but the relevance of that I want to share with you today because I want to talk to you about content marketing and the power of building a personal brand and whether or not it is the holy grail that everybody talks about. So around 2010, I got myself an account on something called Twitter. All right, so I got myself onto Twitter, and at the same time, I was still doing the traditional networking. So I would go to BNI every single week, and I would do something called For Networking, which was set up by Brad Burton many, many years ago. So I would go to For Networking. I would go to lattes for lunch or something. I can't even remember what they were called now. But I would find myself for 5 days a week going out and having to experience networking events, which were absolutely draining. If you hear me talk about introversion, you know that the worst thing that you can do as an introvert is actually have to go out and be social 5 days a week. But I went out and did these networking events. And what was really interesting was at the same time of doing these networking events, I got myself onto Twitter. So in 2010, there were not as many people using Twitter as there are now. I know that it had its peak and I know that not as many people use it now as they used to. But in 2010, I was one of the early adopters that used it properly. And what would happen is I would go to these networking events and people knew who I was already. And that was really weird for me because I hadn't necessarily met them before. And they would say to me, oh, I saw you on Twitter, or they'd send me a message on Twitter. And networking became really, really easy for me because locally I lived in Salisbury, and locally we had this thing, hashtag Wiltshire Hour, hashtag Salisbury. So I could put on hashtags and people would be able to look up who was in the area. Now, the other thing that happened is because I was on a digital platform, I was on Twitter, and then I was also going networking, I was building my personal brand and people felt like they already knew me the moment I walked into a room. This made networking much, much easier, because it wasn't me having to make small talk. People would come up to me and go, oh, wow, you're Amanda, and they would have a conversation with me. So it made my networking much, much easier. Now, if we look at that, this is where I started to build my personal brand. So outside of these networking events, I became quite famous to the point where, and this was only locally back in 2010, to the point where I couldn't go out at weekends without someone coming up to me. So one of the reasons I left Salisbury is because I became so famous in Salisbury that I couldn't leave the house properly. It's madness, all because of Twitter, right? All because of Twitter. But the knock-on effect of that was I got some really nice opportunities. And this is the power of building your personal brand. So opportunities like being able to write for the local paper every single week. And I used to have a section in the local paper where I could share my expertise. It was the Salisbury Journal. I'd share my expertise and people again would see me locally in the Salisbury Journal. I then was asked to be interviewed in the local radio station. Then I was asked to give an event and I had something like 40 or 50 people come to this event. We charged them £60. I made the money to £60, 40 people for a 3-hour event. They all came to hear me talk, which was really mad. And this is not because I was a celebrity and was this amazing, well-known marketing person around the world. Actually, what it was I had become a niche celebrity, a local celebrity, because of the power of my personal brand, which was fueled by Twitter. Okay, now fast forward to 2013, 2014, 2015, what I started to do was create content across different platforms. So I was an early adopter of LinkedIn, I was an early adopter of Facebook, and people would start to follow me on LinkedIn and follow me on Facebook. And then I coupled that with writing my first book, which was called Escape, How to Escape Your Day Job and Start a Business. So I wrote my first book, which is more content marketing, which raised my personal brand again. And I started to be asked to speak around events around the country, and all because I'd built my personal brand. Okay, now the thing that has happened throughout my entire personal brand journey, so right up to now, we're at 2022, we're going to be coming into 2023 shortly, I still have to show up and build my personal brand, and my personal brand has made me millions of pounds over the past 12 years. It would be 12, 13 years now that I've been building my personal brand. If I did not build my personal brand, I wouldn't have made that money. No amount of shouting about my business or having a team talk about what we do would have had the effect or cut through the noise or built the relationships that my personal brand has created. So it doesn't matter whether or not you run an accountancy firm or a consulting firm or you're a business coach. If you think, and this is a bit of a wake-up call, if you think that your services and talking about, how to help people with tax, or talking about how to grow your business, or how to make more profits, or how to put together a business plan, if you think that that is enough for people to say that you're the person for them, you are completely doing it wrong. And my clients that understand this and show up and do video marketing or write blogs that share their personal journey and their personal feelings and opinions and their vision and their mission and their values, when you start to watch people that share that and their personality comes across, so you'll be watching me and you'll like me or you won't like me, and that's okay. It doesn't matter if you don't like me, and if you do like me, you're listening to what I'm saying, and over time you'll get used to my personal brand and you'll start to trust me. And then once you've trusted me, you will then go, do you know what, Amanda is the marketer for me. Amanda can help me raise my personal brand, sell more stuff, get more clients, get better clients, all that kind of thing. But it's not because I'm writing a blog that says 5 ways to get better clients. Actually, it's because you're watching me on video or you're watching my social media updates and you're getting to know me. And people who buy from me know that I have a dog, know that I have a husband, know about Annabelle and Joshua, my children, and they get to know about those things. And that enables people to go, she's a real person, I trust what she says, I know she's really good at what she does because she shares case studies of her clients. And this is what I want you guys to understand is, okay, we're not back in 2010 where you can put out 5 tweets and everyone goes, oh my gosh, you're famous. Okay, we are at the stage where there is so much content out there, but what we have to do is share our personality and share our thoughts and our vision and what it is that we want to change in the world, and people will buy into that. So are personal brands a negotiable? Is it that as an accounting firm owner or as a business coach, can we not show up? Can we get our team to show up? And I would say, through my experience and through the millions of pounds I've made in the bank because of my personal brand, I would say it's not a negotiable, it's a non-negotiable. You have to build your personal brand, and people buy from people. So even if you are running a business where you've got a team of 40 people, that's okay, but you could decide to sell that business one day. There's one thing that you can never ever sell, and that is you, your personality, your brand. And if we look at Richard Branson, for example, we either love him or we don't love him. I'm a big fan of Richard Branson. His businesses underneath him, his Virgin Planes, Virgin Trains, Virgin Media, all those things, it doesn't really matter if Virgin Media gets something wrong, because we still love Richard. So his personal brand is separate from his business brand. So we're inspired by him. And if his business, Virgin Broadband, annoys us, that's not going to stop us from going on Virgin Trains or Virgin Planes, all right, or Virgin Money or whatever it is. And we have to understand that's not because we love Virgin, it's because we love Richard. And when as you know, we all have growing pains when we run a business, and whenever something goes out, an email that goes out wrongly through my business, or if we charge someone twice by mistake, I think we've done that once, we charged them twice by mistake, all they did was go, hey, can I have a refund? They weren't angry because they like me, they know me and they trust me, and they know that that wouldn't have been done on purpose. So the way that people will treat your business also has a direct correlation to what they feel about your personal brand. And if you do not have a personal brand, then your relationship with your clients is very transactional because they don't have an emotional relationship with you. They have to resonate with you. They have to find that you're relevant, but they also have to trust you and care for you. Like I care for my mentors, the people that I invest in their personality as much as I invest in the solution to what they help me with. So if I need help as a business coach, I buy that business coach a lot of the time because I resonate with them and I trust them, and I trust them because of their personal brand, not because they have a successful £10 million business. Okay, so are personal brands important? Yes, they're ridiculously important. How do they help you? They bring you opportunities in abundance. I cannot tell you the number of opportunities I've got because I show up on video every single day. And I know this is a different kind of video that I'm doing today, but that's because it's not this is what you need to do to have success. It's actually, I'm sharing with you my story, and this is all also part of personal brand. So there's different kinds of branding that you can do. Your personal brand doesn't have to be there every single day. You can share a few key milestones that gets your personal brand across. Okay, so anyway, let me know, do you think that personal brand is something you want to invest in? Is it something that you spend time doing? I've got a couple of clients that go live 3 times a week across LinkedIn, across Facebook. They have huge success, not because they have a flood of people saying, hey, I want to buy from you, but because the sales process gets much easier. People don't question them on price. People say to them, oh, I saw you on LinkedIn, or I saw you on Facebook, and I would like to find out more about how you work. The sales process becomes much, much easier when you have a strong personal brand. Your business becomes easier, you make more money, you have more opportunities, and life is much, much easier. You can then turn around to me and you can say, yeah, but I don't like showing up on video. I'm nervous. I'm scared. They're all things that we can overcome. And we can either overcome by talking you and coaching you through that to get you to the other side, or we can say, all right, video isn't for you, but what are the other things that you could do to build a personal brand? And we look in the work that we do with our clients, we look at personalities and we align marketing with personalities. The end result is to build a personal brand, a business brand, and a product brand, so your services brand. We build 3 brands, but the key thing for you is to do that in alignment with your personality. It is a non-negotiable. You have to build those 3 brands. How we do it, though, all depends on what you're comfortable with and your personality. Now, if you're interested in building your personal brand, which you should be, it's a non-negotiable. If you want to build up the brand of your business and the brand of your services, if you want to turn your services from a transaction into a transformational product, then reach out, get in touch, and send me a message and say, hey, Amanda, I want to build my brands. And I'll share with you how we might be able to do that together. Let me know, #live, #replay, whether you watch this live or the replay. And also let me know, are you going to focus on building this personal brand? Because if you don't do it now, over the next 5 years, as we go through a bit of a dip, as we go into a contracted market, those who are super visible and those who give lots of value online are going to be the ones that thrive. Those that hide are going to be the ones that see their business decline. And that isn't coming from me. It's not a sales tactic. It's a fact. You've got to double down. You've got to do the things that maybe you weren't comfortable doing. It's a non-negotiable now. Anyway, I got to go. I got a sales call. I'll catch up with you all soon. All right. And yeah, personal brand is great. It's made me millions, and I mean millions of pounds over the past 12 years. If you want to make millions, if you want to not rely on referrals, if you are fed up of going networking, then you need to build your brands, whether it be with me or with someone else. You need support. All right, I'll catch up with you all soon. Have a great day. See you soon.